you can stop it and pay attention to this podcast, which is also called Stop It. Hi, I'm your host of Stop It, Zach Peterson, and with me today is our guest, Steve Berg.
Hi, I'm Steve Berg.
All right, Steve, tell them why are you here and why should they care?
I am here because my good buddy Zach asked me to stop on by and have a little chitty chat with him. I am an actor and a comedian and a host of a podcast called Hi, H-I, Strangeness, like I'm saying hi to strangeness.
Hello, strangeness.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Thank you. Hello to you as well. But we talk about a lot of weird things. I'm really obsessed with like odd folklore and weird history and like UFOs and the paranormal and all that junk and counterculture, outsider art. If it's weird, I'm into talking about it. So that's what I do. And I live here in Omaha, Nebraska now. And just, loving getting to know this guy. Complete legend.
Yeah. No, I don't know about that.
No, you are. I know a legend when I see one.
I agreed to that far too quickly. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, legend. More like, myth foretold or disturbing lore.
Disturbing lore.
If you can't tell, we are not in the normal Stop It studios. I renamed the studio Stop It. Jocelyn, I don't think she was listening, but yeah, I renamed it. That's Stop It Studios. Now we're in a different place. And that's because Stop It Studios is getting an upgrade, mostly security upgrades like lasers.
Yeah, we got to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
Upgrades are important.
It's in a bad neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
So
really rough.
Yeah, have you seen the movie Entrapment? It's like lasers like that.
You're not wrong. It was. I pulled my groin trying to get in here.
Right. I mean, if there's any movie that people are going to remember, is the Entrapment with Catherine Zeta-Jones and Sean Connery.
It's a big movie. I think when people think of American cinema, that's one they, it's like Citizen Kane, Entrapment, maybe Star Wars, Godfather.
Yeah. Godfather.
In the pantheon of the American greats.
Yeah. All right. Well, good. Here's a really quick, easy one.
I love it.
You ever been to Vegas?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think?
Not a huge fan.
No?
No, I don't really. It's not for me. I kind of like old Vegas a little bit.
Yeah.
But like the new strip and stuff, it's just not like there's nothing there for me. I'm not a gambler. I don't like clubs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I dress like a hobo, so like it's not. No one's interested in me there. I'm not. It's feelings mutual.
No, I feel you.
I'll go if paid though.
Yeah. I'm sort of with you in one because like I like going because there's like so many good restaurants within walking distance, and there's probably 4 or 5 things that I've really enjoyed doing. But how many times can you do them? But like, I don't feel like I'm like, this is my spot, baby. Yeah. I am a Vegas guy. No one thinks that when they see me, and I don't feel that way. But I've had great times. I just got married in Vegas.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah,
that's right.
At the Sci-Fi Wedding Chapel.
I like getting married in Vegas. The kitsch of Vegas.
Exactly.
I'm into.
Right.
But like the work hard, play hard people. Like
right.
Not, I prefer to work not hard and play sometimes.
Yeah. Sort of work. Lay down.
Yeah. Have a questionable job.
Right.
And take a nap.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not like going to DJs at night and hanging out at the pool during the day. That's not me.
Those 2 things are my worst nightmare. Yeah. Like I've like gone there to work a handful of times, and there are times where I've had to participate in that.
Right.
And it's a living hell for me. It's just like it's so inauthentic to who I am. I'm more of like a stoner dive bar guy.
Yeah. Well, they got the Punk Rock Museum now, and weed is legal. And
that's cool.
Meow Wolf edibles. I got to tell you, that's worth going to Vegas alone.
Yeah. I've never been to a Meow Wolf.
No?
No, it's high on my list. People say the Denver one is the best. Would you agree?
No.
Like
it's good.
It's good.
But I prefer the Vegas one. But also that was my first one, so it was like, oh wow,
It'll always have a special place in your heart.
Exactly. Yeah. So like, I don't know if there's a real empirical way to judge the Meow Wolves.
Right. Well, people always will. People will. But I'm excited to go. Like next time I'm in Denver at the end of the summer, and I'm gonna definitely go.
You gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
You'll take it.
Stop it. We're going to the next question.
Yeah, 1 for 1.
Which literary character did you always dream of being?
That is a great question.
No, it's the bucket. The bucket's on fire already.
God, as a kid or now, I would say because the author I've probably been the fan of the longest since high school is Kurt Vonnegut.
Yep.
And there is a character in a couple of his books called Kilgore Trout.
Oh, yeah.
Who's kind of like this, almost like, is he human? Is he real? And I love, he was like this eccentric guy who's kind of offering tips every once in a while, coming in, stealing the scene, and then getting out.
Right.
He's like a great character actor.
And a science fiction writer.
And a science fiction writer, right? So I think I would say Kilgore Trout, Vonnegut's Kilgore Trout.
Very cool. I have Kilgore Trout's tombstone tattooed on me.
Get the F out.
No. Yeah, I do.
Okay. Hey, you're okay.
Yeah. I was a big Vonnegut guy. I think there's a certain type of Vonnegut dude that was in high school and found Vonnegut, and you're like, okay, I am now, I'm this high-minded weirdo.
I was that. My senior year of high school, I was like, I'm going to get into the beats, read William S. Burroughs, Tom Robbins books, and Vonnegut happened. I think I read Cat's Cradle was the first one, which was kind of my favorite. I love it so much.
Yeah, I got that. I got the Cat's Cradle tattooed on me.
What the? Okay.
Yeah, big Cat's
Folks,
Cradle
we
guy.
did not know we were going to be fellow Vonnegut fans.
No.
So I'm going to go ahead. I feel pretty confident in my legend status giving it to you.
Sure.
We'll see by the end of this. But yeah, so far you are sitting pretty.
I think if you walk someone into a room and go, hey, what author do you think these guys liked in high school? They'd be like, Vonnegut.
We reek of Vonnegut.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, you're not wrong about like the high mind thing. When I started reading Vonnegut, I was like, I think I need new friends now. I think I've outgrown everyone.
Yeah. It's like it's not a cliche because I don't think enough people know it.
Yeah.
But I think the ones that do know it's sort of a cliche. Where it's
That's exactly right.
Because all the people that I sort of gravitate towards in my older life, we sort of have the same sort of origin story.
Yep.
That's usually takes a detour through Vonnegut Town.
Yeah. Vonnegut, and I would even say like Philip K. Dick is on the menu.
Sure.
I think people agree, because like Philip K. Dick is like, I don't know if you're ready for Philip K. Dick in high school quite because it's so paranoid and layered, right? Where Vonnegut is layered, but it's really kind of he's a surface writer for the most part, I think, in a great way.
Yeah.
But I do think Philip K. Dick is a good next step after Vonnegut.
If you're not familiar with Philip K. Dick, Blade Runner was essentially his most famous tale.
Yeah.
What do you think is, like, Vonnegut's stuff has never been, like, turned into a movie successfully, or has become sort of a cultural cultural thing like Philip K. Dick.
Right.
So what do you think is his, like, easiest touchstone for the uninitiated?
Philip K. Dick?
No,
Vonnegut?
Vonnegut.
Like in terms of book or movie? Book?
Either. Like, whatever, like, what like, I mean,
For Vonnegut, I would say the book I've recommended in the past is if you read Breakfast of Champions and don't like it, you will definitely not like any of his other stuff.
That's good. Yeah,
I think it's the most Vonnegut book. And it's probably what he's best known for, maybe.
Right.
That book, maybe, probably I would say Breakfast of Champions. And they did make a movie off that.
They did.
It didn't do well, but I actually liked it quite a bit.
Bruce Willis,
and I think Nick Nolte's in it.
Yeah, that's right. Omaha. Native.
Omaha. We love
Nick Nolte.
Another legend.
That's right.
Definite ledge.
That's right. Oscar winner for Affliction.
Yeah, great movie. Too.
Yeah,
that was the best movie of that year, I thought.
Yeah, well, I'd say they couldn't make a movie after that the clothing brand, but they did. And it was good. It won an Oscar.
Affliction was sitting around saying, should we get Joe Rogan to be in the movie? No. I got a better idea. Nick Nolte. Yeah.
That shirt tells the story. It tells the story of Monster Energy drink.
We'll get Paul Schrader to direct it. No one else could do an Affliction movie.
Right. I mean, they did the Battleship movie, and it didn't really take off, but they should have followed Afflictions.
Yeah, no,
Afflictions
you're right.
lead.
You're right. They missed an opportunity.
I can't wait for the Ed Hardy biopic.
I mean, I've written 3 specs trying to get that made. I put a lot of time and effort because it's a story that needs to be told.
Right.
Great clothing, great guy, I'm sure.
Yeah. What is you said you had a favorite Vonnegut? Is there one that you would consider?
Cat's Cradle's my favorite.
Mine too.
Because it's the first one I read, and it's kind of in the way it's most science fiction-y, I think. It's really weird. Maybe not the one I would recommend to start with for most people, but I it is my favorite.
Right.
Slaughterhouse 5 too is a great one to start with.
It's that one. That one's the classic. That's one that I started with. You know, I first saw the movie, the old 1970s movie, and I was too young to really understand that. But it's great. It's still great, and I think it really punk adjacent artist types, like especially young men growing up before the internet. That was their you can be this high-minded weirdo that can do weird art. Like a lot of people talk about Bowie in that way. Vonnegut was very much the Bowie character for me.
I think that's very astute. I also and Vonnegut was always so. I love watching and listening to his lectures. He would give a lot of college commencement speeches to young people. And he was pushing anti-authoritarianism so hard. Where that is what he's that was his thing. He hated authority.
Right. Yeah. Well, he was a POW in World War II.
Yeah.
So I mean, he definitely would. If anyone has angst against fascism, it would be
absolutely.
It'd be a lot of people probably. Yeah. But okay, cool. Well, that's good. I'm sure we could do it. We could do a whole episode on Vonnegut if we really wanted to.
We could. He's great guy. Great guy.
Yeah. Okay. More cultural stuff.
Ooh, I love culture.
What character from The Office do you relate to the most?
I never watched the American one, so can I use the British one?
Yeah, but I've never watched the British one, but I'm listening.
Okay, I would say oh God, that's really tough. I don't even know the name of the characters. There's a larger man who's sitting around eating Scottish eggs all the time.
Okay.
Just kind of observing the whole situation. I feel like that would be me, and I was like, I'm not going to get involved in this mess. I'm just going to enjoy the ride.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know anything about the English Office. This is a bad question.
It's very good.
Okay. I know. I've watched. I'm an extensive fan of the American Office, and I'm going to move past this question because it's going to be a hard conversation to have.
Yeah.
Because we don't have any frame of reference. But I want to say Stanley because I hate working.
Yeah. It sucks.
Yeah. Stanley's a great character. All right. Worst job you've ever had?
Oh, Barnes and Noble.
Really?
But dude, they treated me like garbage.
Really?
On the 3rd Street Promenade, right when I moved to LA, I was so poor. Whoa. And it was the only job I could get. And I'm not joking, they paid me $7.75 an hour.
Yeah.
And they would say Steve, come to the 3rd floor. And it was 3 floors. It was huge. And they would be I'm not trying to be gross, but there would be feces on the wall. I'm not joking. And because it was sadly because there was a lot of I think people without homes around there, so they would use the bathroom.
Right.
And they would say, you need to clean up the bathroom. I'm like, Brad, who's my manager, I'm like, you're paying me $7.75 an hour. There's not a chance that's happening. Yeah. And the poor guy, I felt bad for him. He would end up doing it all the time. He was a manager, but I'm like, he would ask everyone in the store. And I was a nice person from the Midwest, so he'd always try me first. I'm like, dude, I'll do a lot, and I worked hard, but no way. But it was a really bad job.
Okay.
Very poor treatment of their employees.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things. If you can, because they can get away with it, because it's you get to hang out with books all day and have book work fun. Yeah. I don't know. Well, it's I worked in a video game place.
Yeah.
And I mean, I wouldn't call it the worst job in the world, but there's some problems with it. Yeah. But also they didn't pay anyone anything because I get to work with video games.
That's exactly
It's sort of the same thing, but also for the same token, since they don't pay you much, you're like, well, you're going to make me pick up crap? Yeah. I don't think I'm going to do that.
I'm not doing it. Yeah.
I can find another $7.50 an hour job.
That's exactly right. And the sad thing is at the time, I probably couldn't, but but I was willing to have some restrictions. I'm like, I just simply because unless it's a family member or a really good friend, I'm not equipped to be the person who cleans up feces.
Yeah.
I don't have that skill.
Yeah. When Barnes and Nobles listed their duties, duty was not one of them. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it's because, I mean, you can always go to Arby's. Yeah. I can, exactly Arby's doesn't have books, but they also don't have crap. That's probably crap. I mean, let's be honest.
There might be. The big Montana goes right through you,
Yeah. Worst food poisoning I ever got was in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
From an Arby's.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
I think I got just roast beef.
Yeah. Straight up. You thought you were being safe too, probably.
Yeah, I was.
I'll go safe. I'll just get the roast beef. There's no safety at Arby's.
Well, I tell you, if you want a bad experience, get food poisoning in the Upper Peninsula at a casino, and then do 20 minutes to 50 people that hate you.
Oh, that sounds. Wait.
Yeah. Yeah. If anyone wants to have a bad time, that's my suggestion.
Yeah. I haven't been to Arby's for decades, honestly, probably since the 90s. It's been a minute.
I think, I've had it recently, and I think I was just daring myself. I felt too comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. You know what, Zach? Let's add a little danger to your life.
Yeah. Some people bungee jump, some people skydive. I eat Arby's every 6 months. And then go on a long car ride.
Exactly. That's ballsy, I will say.
I wouldn't have guessed Barnes & Noble's. You know, that seems like a pretty fun job.
Yeah, it was. Well, it really was the worst, just because it was so crowded too, and there was a lot of like kind of famous people who come in, and some were really nice.
Right.
Viggo Mortensen would come in a lot with no shoes and paint all over him, like the artist archetype.
Yeah.
You know, and he would have like a half, like, you know, smoked like American Spirit behind his ear. And he was actually a nice guy. Kobe Bryant would come in. He was nice.
Okay.
But then there were certain people who were just horrible.
Right.
You know, like, because it was right by Malibu, and it was in a very rich part of Los Angeles, maybe the most concentrated wealth. And so there were some people who weren't very kind to me. It hurt my feelings. I was new out there.
That happens.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the things when I lived in Los Angeles that I noticed, like the disparity between like us versus them, the people, the stars and stuff is just such a chasm, and they don't treat you well.
No,
at all.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
It is.
It's tough to get around, because like that's the thing. The first 2 years of like LA, I think, is just like getting your ass kicked mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. It's like,
right.
Here you go. It's basically like being a POW.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna put you in a cage and make you miserable and see if you can take it. If you can, you still probably don't have a chance.
Yeah. Right. I think some people can adapt to it, and some people can't.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that couldn't.
Yeah, I think I got to a point where I was like, man, I need to leave. This isn't working out. And I was like, I don't really have money to move, and I'm really lazy, so I guess I'll just stick it out.
Right,
you know?
right.
Like, yeah.
Well, I know some people that moved there and they loved it. And they hit their stride and like, cool.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's not me.
Yeah.
I'm far too, like, I'm a little, like, I'm a cat.
Yeah.
I got to be comfortable. I got to, you know, and I couldn't get comfortable there. And some people live in discomfort, and they're fine with it.
I didn't until I like found like until I started like performing a lot. Like I did sketch comedy, and like Second City was the first place I did it. And once I got into that, I was like, oh, I hit a groove. I found like my people, and I was like broke, and that was like a struggle. But like I was like having fun and enjoying myself. But the first like year and a half, I didn't perform. I was like, I don't even know how to do anything here.
Right.
So, yeah. But when after that, I loved it, and so
yeah. Well, good. It's good to hear. All right, stop it. Moving on. Barnes and Nobles. You know, worst one was, I want to say that real quick. Not going to talk about it much. U.S. Census taker.
Oh,
it's awful. Yeah, going to people's house. How much money do you make? People don't like that.
Yeah. I mean, in their defense, like, that's not a question I love to answer, because it's not much.
Yeah. It's just and I was literally 18 years old.
Yeah.
And I was still in high school. Yeah. But to be honest, the training paid $15 an hour, and it was a 3-week training, so I had a bunch of money before I quit.
Yeah.
Because I went one day out in the field and I quit.
$15 an hour at 18, you can basically retire.
In the year 1999.
You were probably buying McMansions.
Yeah.
A couple of them.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
What a time. Okay. Pretend you're a head football coach.
Oh, yeah.
Where would you put me on the football field? What position should I be at?
Tight end.
Thank you.
You're
I think
tall,
that's good.
you look fast.
Right, not
and
fast.
I can tell you have great hands.
Okay, I think so, yeah. Yeah, I can. I'd probably be a vertical threat?
Yeah.
A receiver?
Yeah, absolutely. I see you running and just pulling in one-handers.
Okay. Yeah, you're very optimistic.
And then screaming ouch when you get tackled really loud. Like, ouch, 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 owie, 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 owie. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to be a baby.
I think, that's pretty much how I play football. Oh, no, stop, please. Oh, no.
Well, it sucked. I was like I'm a big man, but like I was a big kid. And so they're automatically like, oh, we got to get you in the line, which I'm like, this sucks. And I was like, at the funny time, like I had like Morrissey hair to wear like Cure shirts.
Yeah.
So I was like this emo, like new wave kid who, and anytime I would have to like tackle someone, I was like always stopping the game and picking them, helping them. Are you okay? And the coach was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I shouldn't be here."
Right. You don't have the Mamba mentality.
I did not. I don't like to hurt people. Yeah. I feel like that's a good quality, but they didn't.
Well, not in between the sidelines. You gotta get rid of that.
I don't have the aggression for it.
Emo football player is a funny thing to think about.
Yeah, I very much was. Like I was like humming like New Order songs in my head as we're doing like tackling drills. I'm like, this feels odd. Maybe
he hit me.
Yeah, exactly. I did not
He's
like
so
it.
mean.
Yeah.
Why does he do that? It's like he doesn't even want me to score.
Oh yeah, and it's just the mentality. It's like I have nothing against football. It's just like, oh man, I just don't have that. I'm a beta male.
Sure.
I am not. There's nothing alpha about me at all.
No, I'm with you on that.
So I'm proud of it too. I think it's a fine quality to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a sensitive fella myself.
I'm a sweetie pie.
Yeah, we read Vonnegut in high school.
We read
For
Vonnegut
God's
in high
sakes.
school.
Listen to The Cure.
You're right, exactly.
Robert
Smith is the truth. Okay.
What happened? Where's 20 years later? Where are the kids that dressed all in black and read a book at lunch?
Yeah.
We're right here. We're doing
right
podcasts.
Here. Where are the other kids?
Yeah.
They're in the White House right now. But you know what? Damn it. We'll have our time eventually.
Yeah. Maybe.
I doubt it. We won't. No.
If someone's nice and lets us, because we're not going to push.
No.
We're not going to make it.
No. We know. We know.
Oh, boy. You said you're not a sports person, so this question may not work.
Yeah, I like baseball.
Okay, then what's your favorite stadium you've ever been to?
I do love Dodger Stadium so much because it's old school. It has not changed a lot. I mean, they've made some changes. But I love the Kansas City Royals, and I have such great memories going to those games as a kid. So I will have to say, while the Dodgers is more historically significant, I'm going Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, baby.
Yeah, love the fountains.
Great fountains.
It's a really cool spot. I did the same thing. Like, I don't know about you, but like on birthdays and like holidays, my dad would drive us down to Kansas City when we go see a Royals game.
And when I was a kid growing up, it was not like you could probably take the whole family for like food and everything, parking for like $100.
Yeah, very possible.
I mean, I was not sitting in good seats, but
that wasn't the point though.
It wasn't the point. Baseball was cheap, and baseball I think still is the cheapest of all the professional sports. Like even Dodgers games to this day are like mostly pretty affordable.
Right.
So, yeah, baseball is kind of this more working class sport, I think, and I like that.
And you can have a conversation. You can just hang out, right? Like other like. Maybe a football, it's very intense and it's very loud.
That's what you're doing. That is what you're there for. Yeah, there's no so how's work going, man?
Yeah.
There's none of that.
Yeah, baseball's like, I want to have 6 or 7 beers and a hot dog.
Absolutely.
Maybe take a nap.
There's some nice organ. It's slow. I find as I get older, I keep on saying this, I am in every aspect of my life trying to develop a slow life.
Good call.
I want to slow everything down, every aspect of my life. And so baseball, I've kind of gotten back into it where now I bought the Royals package. But they're on almost every night, and I just put it on, and sometimes I'm just listening.
That's
so I'm
great.
Doing work at night, and I can't fully concentrate, but that's what baseball's there for.
Yeah, because it's a long, someone scores 5 runs. Yeah. Okay, it's 3 runs. No, but you never feel lost. No. How did that happen? I know exactly how that happened.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
and it sounds so good. If you just close your eyes and listen to a baseball game,
right?
The ball hitting the mitt, the crack of the bat. It's you can smell the TV. It smells good.
Yeah, I mean that's why it was so popular when radio was a thing because you could just listen to it and it was sort of the ASMR.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, and that's why I think when TV was developed, football became so much more popular because football is better for television.
It is. Oh yeah. It's flashier. It's fast.
it's
where baseball is just slow to by design.
Right. It's football's rock and roll. Short, controlled bursts of violence.
It is.
And then 3 minutes of ads.
Exactly.
Perfect for television.
The ads are so aggressive. And where I'm it's just it confuses me, I think. My old man brain.
I get it. Yeah, I want to get into baseball. I don't think I have the patience. Because we were talking about like just watching TV with just our phones.
Yeah.
Like if I'm watching football and on my phone, I feel like I'm going to miss something. Baseball, no.
No, you can be on your phone the whole time and not miss anything. Take it all in.
Yeah.
What's your favorite sport to watch?
Well, I'm a big football fan.
Big football fan, yeah. Who's your team?
Seahawks.
Interesting. Okay,
Right.
I like that.
Well, I mean, being from Omaha, you have to arbitrarily.
You gotta choose.
Just whatever.
There's a lot, I feel like in Omaha, there's a lot of Broncos, Chiefs, and Bears fans because it's like the closest proximity.
Right.
I grew up a Denver Broncos fan, and then I loved John Elway so much, and then I found out he was, I don't know, whatever. I fell out of love with him.
Yeah.
I won't go any further.
Yeah. Sort of the same thing I have with Steve Largent.
Yeah. Steve Largent. Good pull.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one. Stop it. I got to say that contractually. Hurrdat, so like they have a binding contract, a steel contract where I have to.
They stop it a few times?
Yeah, no, they draw.
Okay.
They draw a pint of blood from me every week. I don't know what they're doing with it.
Yeah. I noticed a lot of syringe marks. So they
Yeah, I
didn't
know.
say anything. I'm like,
I know,
those
it's weird.
track
It's a
marks
weird
are,
company.
The drawn
Yeah.
blood of Hurrdat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I don't know.
I think they're cloning me for more podcasts.
They should. They
Yeah.
should. I would too if I had the technology.
It's weird.
Make you mow my lawn later.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what
I
they're
bet
doing.
you mow a good lawn.
No.
No. Damn it. I'm wrong.
I don't.
I'm wrong.
I hate it. Yeah. I grew up on a farm. I hate all outside work.
Do you? Mm-hmm. I love it. But that's recent years. Now, since I moved back to Omaha, I'm like all about it. I love it.
Okay.
I'm always outside pulling weeds and stuff.
My wife loves it.
Yeah, so does mine.
But not me. I was like, she's like, oh, let's go garden. I'm like, go right ahead.
I'll meet you out there.
Yeah, you're going to do a great job, and I'll help you out with whatever, administrative work I can do for the garden.
Yeah,
but I'm
I'll make some calls.
Yeah.
I'll call. I'll get Menards on the phone.
Yeah. I can order that topsoil for you, and I'll be here in 3 to 5 days. Okay. What Saturday morning cartoon that you remember that no one seems to talk about anymore?
That's an excellent question. I mean, maybe Thundar the Barbarian.
Ooh, I don't know that one.
Oh, really? It was a Hanna-Barbera one, and it was kind of like a sort of Conan type guy, but he had this like sword. It was like almost a lightsaber situation, but he would put it on his wrist.
Interesting.
And he'd pull up his wrist and go, boom, and then it would this bolt would come out.
Wow.
It was a really great show.
What era?
Oh man, I was mid '80s, late '80s. It was on for a handful of years, and it was part of like a Hanna-Barbera block of shows.
Sure.
I think.
Is that the same time as Wacky Races?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's a Hanna-Barbera where they had all the Hanna-Barbera characters race like a Mad World, or
what? It's like Mario Kart for Hanna-Barbera?
Yeah, or Rat Race, which is a more contemporary reference. Yeah, it was like that, but it was just like, the Scooby-Doo, and then there's the shark guy. What was that guy's name?
I know. Was Captain Caveman in there?
Yeah, Captain Caveman.
Grape Ape.
Yep, I remember Grape Ape. Yeah.
Hanna-Barbera was good.
It really was.
Yeah, I liked it. I kind of liked it more than a lot of the other.
Disney?
I was not a Disney kid at all.
Right.
And I'm still not to this day. Yeah, it doesn't. There's something about it. I think it's a little too lovely or something. It's like a little too precious. I don't know. It just never was for me.
Well, I mean, you look at Donald Duck, not Donald Duck. You look at Daffy or like Bugs Bunny. They're sort of jerks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're so pretentious.
Yeah, they're much more human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're much more flawed. Yeah. There's no flaws in Mickey.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, he's too perfect. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Donald, on the other hand, I can relate to Donald.
I'm with you on that, but like Bugs and they elicit kind of a serial killer vibe to me. Where they're like Ted Bundy. Like, you can't be that nice. Like there's something underneath.
I get
lurking.
I get it. Yeah, it's not trustworthy.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Goofy just seems like a liability in a friend
too
group.
Broad. Bring it in a little bit. You know, like
I mean, he's so dumb. He's like, you're ruining everything.
Yeah.
You can't trust him with a simple task.
No.
If I was Mickey, I'd cut him loose.
Yeah.
Like, you're not in the friend group anymore,
He's dead
bud.
weight. Yeah.
You were driving. You went to the end of the motorhome that we were at, and you were like, who's driving? Wow.
Yeah, Goofy's just like a burnout, like.
Right. I've never liked Goofy. I want to put that out there.
I'm with you, man.
It's been a long while. More lesser-known cartoons. like remember when Fox first came out? They had Bobby's World, the Howie Mandel, and then Eek the Cat.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, he said Kumbaya. That was his like exclamation. Oh, Kumbaya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Bart Simpson stole Cowabunga from that.
Maybe
which is another Fox cartoon.
Right. Maybe it was like we gotta have something like Cowabunga. The Turtles. And there's a lot of like
That's right. I love the Turtles.
There's always like a bunch of knockoffs.
Yeah.
As soon as you have something that's popular.
Yeah.
Because once like Turtles became a thing, then it's like now everything's covered in slime and mutated.
Yep.
So they had a Swamp Thing. They had Toxic Avenger.
Cartoons?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, and like Toxic Avenger and Swamp Thing are not kids' movies.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Right.
They actually, both those movies, while they were like kind of, you could watch them because they're trauma films. Or is Swamp Thing trauma?
I don't think so.
I don't think it is either. But Toxic Avenger for sure.
Definitely is.
Those movies, like I think like when you're 18 or something, you watch them kind of as comedies. But I love those movies and I love trauma films, but they disturb me.
Right.
Toxic Avenger still kind of messes me up a little bit.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like, I mean, because it's sort of, it sort of has this really lighthearted approach to very violent movies, which is sort of weird.
That is, you kind of nailed it. It's like ultra violence, but like we're laughing about it. I'm like, are we?
Right. Yeah, but they also can get away with it because the effects are so bad.
Absolutely.
And it's like, this is pretty ridiculous.
Absolutely. It totally is.
So it really takes the edge off of it.
Yeah, it does. It does. And God bless Trauma. I love what they were doing. I remember when I was like, I went to, or studied film school, whatever, in college. And I remember like talking to my professor and he's like, what do you think you want to do right after college? And I was like, I'd like to go work for Trauma. That was like my goal. And he's like, you're really aiming low. And I'm like, not to me, man. It seems like a great place to start out. Right. And he like was really judgmental of my choice. We'd go around like the class and talk about it. And I was like, I'd love to work for Trauma right off the bat. Experience. And he's like, in my head, I was like, learn to make movies cheap, kind of the Roger Corman thing. But he's like, no.
Right.
And their kids are saying, I'd like to work for David Fincher. I'm like, okay, well.
Right.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. I want to be in our tour instead of like I want to go find the weirdos.
Yeah,
find the weird stuff.
Exactly. I want to graduate towards making David Lynch films. I'm like, I could start with Trauma. I feel like I'm ready for that.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And because they're always like punk rock adjacent.
They were. Always. They are. It's punk rock filmmaking. Like
that's it.
And there was a lot of that in the 80s and 90s, which that's what Tubi is great for now. Not to do an ad for Tubi, but it's all like, I mean, most of it is like crappy like video store movies from like, the 80s. And like to me, I'm like, that is pleasurable to watch.
Right.
Like,
well, I think that's something that sort of disappeared with physical media, where you found a DVD or a tape, and you're like, what the hell is this?
The discovery.
And then you had what's on the back of the box, and you have no other information about it. And you're like, oh, I guess I got to watch it.
Exactly.
And usually it's terrible, but then even if it's bad, it's sort of like this, look at this crazy thing I found.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe you were thinking like, oh, I'm going to watch an action movie. Oh, no, I'm actually now watching a comedy and I'm enjoying it just as much.
Right.
But the thing about those, like, what they did so well with the 80s, like VHS movies, is the posters or the covers promised you, like, whoa, there's like helicopters and missiles and like UFO. Like, I mean, the covers were actually wonderful, beautiful art.
Right.
That kind of promised you, and they usually didn't deliver on that promise.
Yeah, that's right.
Or they would show one image on the back of like some guy with like a motorcycle with like, like red smoke coming in the back. You're like, oh man, this looks, how could this be bad?
It's going to be intense. Like a motorcycle with red smoke.
Right. I mean, I'm in.
Yeah. And I think this is in the bucket too, but I want to ask this question because you grew up in the same time as I did, where you went to rental places and you saw all the, and this is a bygone era, and I miss it, but you can never have that back.
No, it's gone.
But there were probably a couple of VHS covers that are like burned into your mind.
Yes.
That still scare the hell out of you, or like you look at it and go, "Wow, that was pretty cool."
Yeah.
Like, what do you?
Well, I can tell you, The Exterminator 2. Which was on the cover. It's a guy with like a welder's mask on. He's like just flaming out everywhere.
Yes.
The story behind that was I had a friend's mom who would take us to horror movies. Like she just didn't care. She'd take us like Friday the 13th, which is awesome.
Right.
But we thought we were seeing The Terminator.
Yeah.
the first Terminator film, and she took us to the Exterminator.
Whoa.
She just got confused. And it was not only it was Exterminator Part 2. And it was a god-awful movie. We saw like out in Millard, I remember. But I always think about it. But it scared me. There was something disturbing about like this guy with his welder's mask, like just lighting people on fire for no reason. And I'm like, I don't. So I actually, it's on Tubi. It's like on my queue now, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can watch it.
I bet. Yeah, I bet when you watch it now, you're just like, wow, there was no reason for me to feel those ways.
No, it's a very tame movie.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. I think the one that I remember is I've never seen it, but Company of Wolves.
Yeah.
Do you know what the cover I'm talking about?
I know exactly where it's like the person's like face is a profile and their mouth is coming out, right?
There's a werewolf snout coming out of a person's mouth. Yeah. My dad had that movie in our house, and I had to turn it around when I was home alone or it was night because I was too scary.
Yeah.
Just a picture of werewolves.
Maybe we should both face our fears and watch Exterminator 2. I'll watch Company of Wolves. You watch Exterminator 2. And
all right. We'll tell each other about it. It was actually pretty scary.
Yeah, it was a great movie, actually. You were really missing out on all these
I can't believe you made me do this.
The guy with the flamethrower. Thanks, Steve. I'm messed up now.
Yeah.
I'm going to therapy again.
It's not even a real movie. You said a dream.
Exactly.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. All right. What is this? You ever get into crypto?
I did.
Yeah.
In like 2016, I remember I got like kind of a big residual check, and then I had a buddy who was like buying Bitcoin, and he was like, "Dude, you should take some of the money and buy Bitcoin." It was like $800 at the time, and I did. I bought one Bitcoin.
Whoa,
and
not too shabby.
Yeah, and that was it. I was in and out, and I think I still have it.
Right.
It's one of those things like, do I? But no, it's like I'm not good with like investing and stuff.
Right.
It's so boring that like I'm like I'd rather be poor.
Yeah. I did begin the pandemic, and I was like, and then it all went away. I'm like, well, it's dumb.
Yeah, I made a huge error.
I gave it a shot, but it wasn't like a bunch of money. I was like, I want to buy a bunch of little ones.
Yes.
Because if they go up, then I'll get something. But it's like they could also go down, and that's what I did.
Yeah. So. I think maybe I bought some other little ones too and sold those when they because I was just like, I don't want to monitor this. Like, life's too short. You know?
Right.
I don't know.
Well,
at the end of my deathbed, I don't want to say, like, I'm really glad you spent all that time with crypto. You know, it's time you don't get back, man.
Well, like one part of me is like, you don't understand it. Don't do it. I was like, well, I don't understand the stock market, and people do that. I don't understand anything.
More user friendly. I mean,
right.
If all the bros are getting rich,
how hard can it be?
How hard can it be?
I read Vonnegut in high school. I could that.
Yeah, I can figure this out.
Right.
Yeah, I know enough to where I'm like, I don't have like business sense like that, like investing. So I stay away from it.
But I think with the stock market, there's like the world events affect it, and so you can be like, oh, like so this happens, so XYZ is going to happen. And with the crypto, I don't think there's anything.
No,
I think
there's not, and there's very little like use for it, right?
Right.
So it's like they're almost all vying to be the one that takes the one or two or three that really take off.
Right.
And with stocks, at least it's like a company who like makes things or provides a service.
Yeah.
So I can kind of wrap my head around like, I'm investing in Apple. Like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I don't have the money to, obviously, but like I understand like that, it may turn out well if they are selling a lot of computers or something. So. From crypto, I'm like, I don't really understand why it goes up, why it goes down, why one's better than the other. Well, it's got a great use case. I'm like, what the
what's a use case? Yeah.
Can you explain it? No, man, but I heard it has one. I'm like, okay, well.
It's the case the use comes in.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're the idiots.
I don't know. The what?
We're the idiots.
I don't know. I think, okay.
No, we read Vonnegut. We read Vonnegut.
Yeah.
We're good. We're safe.
How much sawdust can you put in the Rice Krispie treats before people start to notice?
Now, are we talking about a full, your basic casserole dish pan? Or one square?
Yeah.
The casserole dish pan?
Yeah, if you're making a thing of Rice Krispie treats and you got some sawdust you want to get rid of.
Okay, I think you could probably get away with, honestly, like pushing it.
Yeah.
6 tablespoons.
Yeah, probably. It depends also on how finely the sawdust is.
That's right.
You can't have any big chunks.
I was definitely picturing I would have it ground down very fine.
Right.
And I'm not talking about heaping tablespoons. Very even. You would even it out. A couple more granules past that, I think we're getting busted.
I think we're ready for the depression.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can do it.
Yeah.
I'd eat sawdust.
I would too. It doesn't seem that bad.
Oh, we're talking about popcorn.
Yeah, chewing a toothpick, same thing.
Yeah, sawdust is the new popcorn.
Absolutely.
You find a wallet with $5,000 on the street. What would you do with it?
I give it back to the owner.
Yeah?
I'm like, I have this. I know it sounds crazy, and you may not believe, but I do feel like cosmically that karma is a thing. Like I really,
Right.
I wouldn't say I believe in it because like I don't like really work on faith, but I think there's something to it. Just because I feel like I've
Right.
experienced, like doing bad things or things I shouldn't have done, and I feel like the next day something terrible happens.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's a weird universal cosmic thing where it's
Right.
like, hey, there's a little test. I would give it back.
Give it back?
Yeah.
What if you couldn't find the owner? What if there was nothing you could do about it?
I'm keeping that, baby.
You keep it?
I'm and maybe I would try to do something nice with that, like
Right.
or maybe not. Maybe I just
Yeah.
go
Well, I mean, if you have to have it, but if they have if it's a wallet, then assuming you have their stuff in it, you try. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think you have to try.
I think you have to try to get it back. I really do. I think good things will only happen if you get it back.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
If I had the kind of money where I had $5,000 sitting around my wallet, if someone brought that back, I'm like, well, here's $1,500.
Yeah, you think so.
And if you ever need a favor, you hit me up.
You think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need money that bad.
No, I would. Yeah, I mean, like we always need money, but like that. I just feel like that. I would feel like stealing. Then I would feel like I'd have a stomach ache for a while.
Right.
And like I don't do well with like that extraneous like anxiety. I have too much of it already.
Right. I've never been. I think that knowing it's one of those things where you can like hold your head high for a while after this. Like, look
And
at
that's saying something.
I survived temptation.
Absolutely. No,
Yeah.
I think there's something to that, man. I think I'd feel better, and then if I'm feeling better, I'm doing better work. I'm a better person, better friend, better husband.
Right.
That's nice. It's hard to feel good this day and age.
Yeah. There's not a lot of times where you get that choice where it's like, am I going to do am I going to be the person that I believe I am?
Yeah.
And that would be one. So that's nice.
Yeah.
This hypothetical would be nice, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think the 5,000. Like, is there a sum of money? Is the sum of money arbitrary?
I think so.
Okay, so what if it was $2 million? You find a briefcase on the side of the road, and you make all your dreams come true. Does it change at all? Does it make the decision harder?
I mean, I thought it didn't, but now that I'm putting myself on the side of the road, and there's no license or identification,
Yeah.
I'm keeping that. I mean,
Okay, what if there's a phone number, a bag clip, like luggage card?
God. The thing is, like, if you find $2 million cash, I've seen a lot. I've seen Breaking Bad and stuff. I feel like if I called the number, I'm like, oh, I just called a cartel.
Right.
And now I'm in real trouble.
Yeah.
So I am a, not like overly paranoid, but I'm paranoid enough to where it's kind of like that level of paranoia where it's served me well. And I feel like in that situation, I'd be like, if you take the money, it's going to be like one of those movies where it's like the slow devolution of your life.
It's No Country for Old Men.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a simple plan.
It's a simple plan is the one that popped in my head. That's a great movie. By
It
the
is.
way.
It really is.
I should rewatch that.
Yeah. Well, good old Billy Bob Thornton.
One of my favorites, if not my favorite actor. I love him.
I met him in a bar in Kansas City.
No way.
Yeah, I did. I was doing a comedy show, and I saw this older man walk in. This looks like a biker. I was like, and normally a man that walks in that's just walking down the street, like a biker type, older, like he's usually gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who's just like walking in, people in the show. We just sat there and was laughing and all that stuff. And they came up to me and was like, I really enjoyed this joke. I have a joke about movies. And he's like, I really enjoyed that. And I was like, oh, thank you. That's really cool. And he starts talking to me. And I stopped sort of paying attention to what he's saying and start paying attention to the sound of his voice. And I go, oh, I know who this is.
Billy Bob.
Yeah. I go, oh, I'm a fan of yours. Hey, really cool to meet you. And then he goes, thank you. And then he just walks out the door and disappears.
Great way to meet him, though.
Yeah. And I was like, why is Billy Bob Thornton in Kansas City? And apparently his band, the Billy Bob, but the Thornton Brothers band or whatever, is playing the next day, like down the street.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I was like, that was definitely him. And and he didn't want to be noticed. And he wasn't, but you can't hide that voice.
So distinctive. That slow draw, it's a great voice.
Right.
I think he's like honestly one of the most talented actors like ever. Like he's one of those few, there's not many actors where I'm like, I'll watch that movie because he's in it. You know, so yeah, he's just great. He's so natural. You know, I just believe it.
Also comedically, he has
amazing.
Great, him being angry and him like swearing under his breath can carry multiple movies.
Yes, it can.
Like I've seen Bad Santa.
Yeah, so good.
Right. Bad News Bears.
Yes.
It's the same guy. He's just angry and a little bit drunk.
Yep.
And he's saying something, oh, God damn it. You know, he's sort of like a Hank Hill character.
He is.
And it's phenomenal. It's so good.
He's so weirdly likable that it's just like, because by all rights, when you think of like the history of Hollywood, like he is definitely like a side character actor. Somehow he became the leading man.
Right.
It's really one of the most like weirdest phenomenons in Hollywood history.
Right.
Like, there's nothing about him that screams leading man, but he has carried multiple movies and TV shows.
Yeah, good ones too.
Really, some of the best ones in the last like 50 years, I think. You know.
Yeah, I mean, Sling Blade was his big
incredible
ascension, and he made good on that opportunity.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people like get that opportunity, their indie blows up, and then you're like, oh, maybe a flash in the pan. Still cool.
Yeah.
But he only like got better. Like it's very
Right.
rare. Big fan.
This is the last question.
Okay.
So please remind folks where they can check out your podcast and follow you online.
Yeah, so it's Strangeness. You can find it on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, all that good stuff. And my social media handle is Bergmaster5000.
Wonderful. All right. Last one, very important one. We're going into the world of memes.
Ooh.
What meme do you quote the most often? Like there's like one that gets in your ear and you start saying it?
Like based off like an actual like visual meme?
Either visual meme or like something you've like seen on video, like a TikTok that you've seen a million times, and then you quote it.
Can I pass?
Yeah, we'll do another one.
Can I pass? Because I honestly I can't think of one.
Okay.
I don't want to end it on a low note.
That's A-okay. I'm going to put that back in there.
I'm sorry.
Maybe I'll get one of these Gen Z people in here and they'll talk about, I don't know, Sonic the Hedgehog or something. I don't know. What are these kids into?
I don't even know.
These kids love the Sonic the Hedgehog.
They're on fleek with that Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm still saying that. I'm like 7 years behind.
God.
Yeah.
That brings back memories of.
Yeah. I never understood it, and I still don't. But I'm using it. It's fun. Having a great time with it.
Someone should.
Yeah,
keep it alive.
It's
like
a heavy
historian.
burden, but the weight's on my shoulders. I feel good about it.
What's the best gift you've ever received?
Oh, that's easy. So for my 40th birthday, my wife surprised me, and took me to Big Sur, California, which is just one of the most fabulously beautiful places in the world.
Wonderful.
Redwood trees. And there was this tiny little concert that Bonnie Prince Billy
was
giving, and I'm a massive fan of his, and I had never seen him play. And it was like a circle of cabins. It was only like 200 people there. And we're in the middle of a forest. It's like built a little little lift stage for him.
Right.
And it was like a 2-day show, and our cabin was right next door to Bonnie Prince Billy's.
That's
so
cool.
I'm staying next to my hero. I gotta like talk to him. I see him on the hiking trail. We're like, "Hey, how you doing? Can't wait for the show tonight." I'm like, "What's happening?"
That's
and
awesome.
so that was easily. And the shows were just magical. He played a lot of the songs I wanted to hear, and there's a great opening kind of folky bands before, and it was wonderful. So
that's really cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
I like experience gifts.
I get that.
You know, I like the memory of them. You know?
Right. I mean, because just seeing your favorite artist and
it's huge
at all is a good time.
Art's it for me, you know. Like you could describe me as anything as an appreciator of the arts. It's just that's all I care about, really.
Right. That rules. I mean, that's so cool. Like if I put myself into that sort of role, and like I got to see someone like John Prine or
I love John Prine.
or Mountain Goats or something like in that environment. Holy crap, that would be cool.
Man,
that rules.
Yeah, so he's like a top 3 for me. Just so to be able to see that with like chance of a lifetime. And I'll probably never get that opportunity again.
I bet.
Know?
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
In the middle of a forest?
Middle of a forest, like the redwoods, man.
Can't be cooler.
Magical.
Can't be cooler.
It really wasn't. Like, afterwards, there was like this big bonfire, and I was like drinking with beers with the rest of the band. I'm like, what's happening right now?
Yeah,
You know, like,
yeah. That's like a dream.
It was a dream. It was a
rules.
dream. Yeah, I watched him eat lasagna outside.
Yeah, I would love to see my favorite artist eat lasagna.
Yeah. I did go see John Prine once in L.A., and it was a couple years before he died, and he was so good.
Right.
So unbelievably good. Like, everyone was so captivated. Like, he was a special songwriter.
Yeah,
One of the greats.
I think I saw him on that same tour, like 2018, 2017.
That's exactly
I
what it
saw him
was.
in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, I actually saw him play with Conor Oberst, open up, or like,
wow.
He was opening for Conor Oberst, and Conor Oberst, like he did kind of a cool thing where he like tricked everyone. He let him play last, and he opened up for him, even though it was billed as Conor Oberst and John Prine.
Wow.
He did kind of a cool move and said, like, you know what? It's John Prine. Like, I should be opening for him. And I thought that was like pretty classy.
Well, if you go to Page Turner's, Conor Oberst's bar, they have that that bookshelf on the mural.
Yeah.
It has all the stuff. Like, it has like Simon Joyner, Neil Young Zuma, and it has like John Prine, Sweet Revenge.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Page Turner's great bar. One of the best. Love it.
Yeah, second time in a row that's been mentioned.
Okay, shout out Page Turner's.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. You've been listening, you've been watching, and now you can stop it. Goodbye.